Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. And when it comes to some of these boxing fans, they find a way to take it to the stupid and need to hold their horses. My thing is this, right? And it's your first time to the channel, please subscribe. Yo, check it out, man. Crawford and Andrade, they were Snac strong, right? Both of them were working with Victor Conti, right? But oh no, different outcomes in the biggest fights of their lives, right? So what went wrong for Boo Boo Andrade and what went right if they were both Snac strong? That's my question, because if you let the fans tell it, Terence Crawford cheated in the Errol Spence fight. I'm still seeing comments about that. On my channel, on other platforms, they're still suggesting that Terence Crawford looked different. We've never seen him perform like that. There has to be more to this. He was on peds. He's never looked that powerful. He took Errol Spence's punches. So a couple of things, right? Errol Spence, when it comes to his punches, right, he's not a guy who's going to come in there and land a one-hitter quitter. He comes in there, Errol Spence, and he delivers a mash-up, crash-up. And that's the kind of fight that he wants. He'll get in there and he'll bang, and just through a matter of the rounds, a matter of attrition, he just breaks fighters down until eventually they're like, you know what, man, yo, Roberto Duran, no mas. I've had enough of this. Now, in the process, Errol Spence gets hit a lot too. So when he fought Crawford, look, I watched that fight several times. I'm not seeing Crawford do anything that I haven't seen him do before. Okay? He didn't knock Errol Spence out. If he would have came in there with a single shot, right, and would have Avanasianed Errol Spence, first round, first shot he throws, boom, and knock Errol Spence out cold. Well, then I think we got to put the hairy eyeball on him, okay? All right? I'm serious. Like, you see that Juan Manuel Marquez, I talk about this a lot, and Manny Pacquiao. I'm not talking about when Marquez knocked Pacquiao out cold, right? I'm talking about the first time he knocked him down, where he caught Pacquiao with that right hand. Pacquiao was out on his feet, and when he hit the ground, he walked back up. That shot, when he hit Pacquiao, when you look across all those fights, he's never, ever, ever done anything like that to Pacquiao. Never. Marquez has been a guy who'll get in the ring, man. And, you know, and he can fight, he can punch. But he's never, when it comes to Pacquiao, never done anything like that. And he's landed a lot of shots on Pacquiao. Okay? So that's where I have to say, when it comes to that Marquez-Pacquiao fight, something fishy, right? And then when he finally hit him with the one shot, boom, out cold. It just doesn't make sense. Didn't want to do the rematch. And you say, well, what's the difference of that fight out of their 4 fights, right? What's the difference of that fight? Well, he had Angel Heredia, okay? So that's why I think something may be up. Okay, now Angel Heredia today, you know, I've talked to him on Twitter, and look, I don't know what anyone does, but what I will say is that the man, degree in science, he worked as a chemist, he understands pharmaceuticals, he understands supplementation, and I do believe all these guys who are working as strength and conditioning coaches, at least the well-known ones, I think they understand, you know, pads. I think they understand what I would call suitable supplements, things you can use in place of pads that will give you the same results. I do believe that. But as far as Terence Crawford, and whether we should say, hey, he was on pads, I'm just not seeing it. And if that's the case, right, if Terence Crawford, right, let's say that's the case, he was on pads, Victor Conti. Look at what they were able to achieve working together. He got in there and Errol Spence never had a chance, right? Because that's what some people think. Well, how come Boo Boo Andrade didn't have a chance? Right? What happened to Boo Boo Andre? Because he got in there with David Benavidez. As the counter argument is boom. David Benavidez had Victor Conte. Well, but still, how was David able to just overwhelm Boo Boo Andre? Right? Because if you listen to the fans, Terence Crawford has never shown that kind of punch resistance. He ate Earl Spence's punches. Well, if that's the case, if Victor Conte has the secret recipe and he's got the secret sauce, how come Boo Boo Andre didn't stand up to them punches a little bit better? You know what I'm saying? How come when Boo Boo Andre did hit Benavidez with some clean shots, some beautiful uppercuts, how come Benavidez didn't, wilt a little bit? How come he didn't get discouraged? You know what I'm saying? So again, you can make a case, depending on how you want to look at it, for any and everybody in boxing possibly using pads if they get in the ring and put on a dominant performance. Especially when the fighter who's on the receiving end of the beatdown, that fighter you've never seen be put in through an adverse situation. You never seen them really get, destroyed in the ring. It's one thing to see a fighter get buzzed, see a fighter go down, but when they just get totally destroyed and tranquilized, like what happened to Earl Spence when he fought Terence Crawford, and also what happened to Demetrius Andrade when he fought David Benavidez. But I'm gonna tell you right now, Andrade didn't get to the point to what Earl Spence reached because Andrade knew. He's like, nah, I can't do this. Because even in that round, because it stopped it in the fifth, I think it was the fifth round, they didn't come out for the sixth, where Andre was getting beat from pillar to post. Pillar to post, man. But he still managed to conjure up enough strength to let go a really nice combination and finish strong at the end of the round. I think it was the fourth or the fifth round. But anyway, I think it was the fourth round. But whatever round it was, that tells me that Andrade, he had fight in him. It's just what was coming back at him. But I'm not. But I got to be honest. I'm not seeing it. And if these guys were doing anything foul, sometimes people get cut, sometimes people don't. But I'll tell you this, right? Since people just think Terence Crawford, the Snac program, and he was cheating. Well, nobody's saying Andrade was cheating, and he was on the Snac program. But going forward into the next fight, right, when Terence Crawford fights Earl Spence, I just can't see a different outcome. Now, if for some reason Terence Crawford gets in there and Earl Spence beats him down, so what are we going to say now? Right? I don't think that happens, but let's say it happens. So what are we going to say? You know what people are going to say? They're either going to say, they're probably not even going to say, well, Earl Spence must be taking something. They're not going to say that. They're going to say Terence Crawford is off the juice. That's what they're going to say. Now, I'm going to tell you something that's probably going to sting some of you. Now, I'm telling you right now, I have no reason to believe Crawford or Andrade were on any kind of banned substances. I do think you do have an advantage over your opponents who don't have a pharmaceutical genius in your corner. I do think so. I do think you're at a disadvantage when you don't have a strength and conditioning coach who's been doing this for years and understands the importance of rest, importance of hard work, the importance of stretching, the importance of supplementation, the importance of diet, and knowing just how to push your body. And when they can take all of those things, right, and create the proper balance, along with the right supplementation strategy, I do think those fighters will perform better than their opponents if their opponents aren't going through a similar regimen. Okay? Now, if the fighter goes into the next fight and they don't continue with that routine, well, then I would expect to see a decline in their performance. But that being said, for Crawford and Spence, I'm going to tell you something that y'all probably don't want to hear. There are some people, since people just like to, have conversations, that were saying Earl Spence. Now, I'm telling you right now, I don't believe Spence, Crawford, or Andrade have done anything foul. But I'm just having a conversation with you about some of the, the bullshit you see out here on social media. people were saying that Spence looked so horrible because he was off the juice. They're saying the reason Spence was able to overwhelm opponents before the accident and especially after the accident is because Spence was up to no good. Now, I'm going to tell you this. Some of the stuff I see, man, I just shake my head at it. You know what I'm saying? At least be able to root those statements in some kind of substance. You know, and for Earl Spence, you just can't do it. If you're just having a conversation and say, damn, what went wrong? You know, there's a lot of things that were thrown out there about Earl Spence. I'm not going to rehash all that. I think I've done enough videos about it. But what I'll say is, Crawford and Andrade were both Snac strong. One guy performed exceptionally well. The other guy did not. Now, I'm not saying Andrade went in there and just looked like he had no skill. He just couldn't keep up with Benavidez. Benavidez is a damn machine. And he was just coming. And that pressure burst pipes, man. And a lot of times when you get the pressure fighter who can crack, and he's up against a highly skilled boxer who may not quite have the punch to keep him off of him, then it comes down to just a matter of stamina. And I'm going to tell you what happened in the Andrade fight. Andrade got tired, man. Benavidez was just putting that pressure on him. Let me tell you something that Andrade said to his corner. I'm not talking about stop the fight. We know that he said that. People call him a quitter. I don't think he's a quitter. But if we're going to say Ryan Garcia quit, I understand. Hey, Andrade quit. Did he say stop the fight? He did stop. Did he quit? Yeah, he did quit. Okay? But it's just not like someone who got in there for a payday. He got in there and just... Rounds before he said stop the fight, you know what he told his corner? He was like, man, I can't keep him off me. That's what he said. Now, he's Snac strong in the ring with Benavidez, and that's what he told his corner before they stopped the fight. He was like, man, I can't keep him off me. So now that you understand that, and I'm not making that shit up. Rozier said that. You can go look at the videos. But when I hear that, right, that tells me, and I've been in a similar situation like that, that tells me that in his mind, all the things we want to see him do in the ring, he can't do it. You know why? Because he's not thinking about that. He's thinking about surviving. He's thinking about, man, if I throw this punch, I'm going to get hit with this. He's thinking about, God damn, this man's still coming. Jesus Christ, I'm getting hit. Like, that's what his mind goes to. So then you see him grabbing and trying to hold on for dear life. But Benavidez is throwing those weird uppercuts where he kind of jumps and throws a real short uppercut, then coming over the top in tight. Benavidez does some really good things. If you pay attention, I'm not saying he's the best inside fighter, but on the inside, he gets shots off. You try to grab him, he'll get shots off. Okay, so Benavidez, he knows how to get you off of him without having to put his elbow, forearm in your face and your neck. No, he'll let his hands go. And then you'll notice the guys who are grabbing on him, man, they'll break loose. But I'm going to give you a quick story. I've talked about it before. I was in a sparring session. I got kind of set up, man. The coach was like, hey, we're going to go over there and spar at this gym. I was like, all right, cool. I wasn't in the best of shape. Just like go there and get some friendly sparring. But when I got over there, that shit turned into life and death. You know what I'm saying? The first round, I'm in there sparring thinking it's just, we're working. 100% speed, 50% power, whatever. A friendly kind of sparring match. This dude threw the first punch, man, and I got underneath it, and that shit had heat on it. And I remember I was like, yo, what is this guy doing? And we kept boxing, so, I put a little more heat on my shot. And he was winding up that right hand, man. And what I'm telling you is a real story, man. This is the first round. And he cocked that right hand to throw it. But, he had cocked it back. And I just timed it. Once I saw him, kind of cock back with the right hand, I boxed southpaw, so I threw the left and right hook real quick. The left was more speed just to blind him, but I came with that right hook with some sauce. And he buckled. And I hurt him. And his coach in the gym was just like, oh, shit. I remember that. But I also was telling myself, if he's going to throw hard shots, I'm going to throw hard shots. But this is where it got a little tricky. Because I wasn't in fight for your life type shape. I was good for about 3 rounds. because it wasn't supposed to be like that. Yo, this guy started to put some pressure on me. So I'm out here throwing like, 8, 9 jabs. Pop, 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 pop. Just shit to keep him off me. Then when he come in close, step aside. I was hitting with all kind of shit, man. Body to left hand to the body, right hand to the side, man, and boom, come up with the right hand, hook to the head, then uppercut, then push him off me. And every time I was hitting him, it was looking good. But I had first round stamina. Round comes to an end. He looking at me crazy. I go back to the corner, not trying to show it. I'm dying. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. So the coach is like, you all right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is like a fight, And he's like, yeah, just go in there, just get some good work. But I'm like, this dude is in shape. So then, anyway, second round comes out. I'm good for like the first minute. Then he starts to close the gap, and I start wrapping him up. He threw a shot, and I kind of rolled with it. But I felt that shit. He hit me, boom. But I rolled with it, took a little bit of that sauce off me. But I remember I was like, if I don't do something, this dude's gonna, he gonna catch up with me because I'm slowing down and he's picking up the pace. So then we get through that round, and now he's feeling himself, So the coach was like, how you feeling? I'm tired. Like my body's shaking. Like I'm tired, man. My body was shaking. That's how hard I was working to keep that dude off me. And then I come to find out, right? So the third round, they try to put me out there. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I told him I'm good. I'm not going out there for the third round because my whole body. I don't know if you guys have ever worked out to this point. I used to work out to this point, man. Running, doing the stair climber, running hills, training. I used to work so hard, my body would be shaking. And I think that's because at the time I'd be cutting weight too, but my whole body would just be shaking. I'd be walking and just trembling. My body would be trembling. And I always felt that was from, really working out, working out really hard. But when I came out of the ring that second round, I had that same feeling. And come to find out, this guy was getting ready for some big-ass tournament, man. And here I am just out in the gym working out. And they put me in with this dude, man, who was goddamn like, 10 3-minute round ready. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, first round I got him. The second round was probably an even round. You know what I'm saying? The third round, I knew it would have been all him because what I would have had to do, I would have had to, basically quit in the ring. And I was like, man, I ain't doing it. And then I didn't want to sit there, man, and, be on the ropes and just rope-a-doping and grabbing him and shit. And then I got pissed off, because my coach knew that shit. He knew what he was taking me up there for. He knew the deal. He was cool with the other gym. And but it's all good. Guys be paying each other stuff to bring guys up to the spar. And I dodged a bullet. I'll put it to you that way. But I tell you that story to tell you this. When Andrade was in the ring with Benavidez, and he was like, I can't keep this dude off me. When he said that, when the Rosier conveyed to us what Andrade said, I have an idea of what that man was feeling because of what I went through in that second round, man. And I went through something similar to that when I was in Korea. Sparring, check this out, the National Heavyweight Amateur Champion. That's the title that they said that this guy had. I don't know because I didn't know where they came from. They took me to some gym up in Busan, from Osan to Busan. And we went in there and it was a similar situation. But, I was in shape, but not, again, this guy was some goddamn Korean national heavyweight champion. He didn't look that big, man, But that was the title. But, sometimes they had these funny titles in these little local tournaments. They'll make you a regional something, but you look at who they're fighting, you're like, shit, I could have went in there and knocked all of them out and been a regional whatever. So I wasn't too concerned about that. But I didn't know that when they took me there to fight him, too. It was the same thing, man. He came out there, man, them guys, you got to shoot them, man. If you ever fought in Asia, them Asian fighters, man, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, there's no getting in there coochie-coo tickling each other. They're trying to destroy you. And the more you beat them, the more they fight back because they're fighting with honor. So that being said, man, Demetrius Andrade, hey, that's what I know. I have an idea what he was going through, and when you're going through that, you ain't thinking about floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. You looking for the exit, and that's what I think my man was looking for, and that's why he decided, to call the fight, quit because it wasn't gonna get any better. But that being said, man, Crawford and Andrade, they were both Snac strong. One performed extremely well, the other one didn't. Why? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it has a little bit to do with Crawford just being better than Spence. Maybe it has a little bit to do with Benavidez just being better than Andrade. Maybe it has nothing at all to do with pads and somebody juicing. You know what I'm saying? I would tend to think it's just the better fighters win. And remember this, the best fighter doesn't always win. It's the fighter who boxes the best on that night. And Crawford definitely boxed the best. Andrade and Benavidez definitely boxed the best. You know, Spence was reaching, Spence was doing, in the first round, Spence looked pretty damn good. But, you know, he was doing some things and Crawford was downloading data. And he came out as southpaw, man. You know, he didn't even go in the phone booth as an orthodox fighter and come out the phone booth as southpaw, man. He came in the ring with the goddamn cape and the big S on his chest. Southpaw man is here. Dun 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 dun. It went to work. We already know Andrade is southpaw man, but you know he probably needed to become orthodox man. He should have went in the phone booth and came out as a right-hander because nothing he was doing was really working. Although he looked spectacular when he was letting his hands go, he just was in there with, you know, like they say, the monster. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. We'll see what's next for Andrade. We already know what's next for Crawford. And I'm going to tell y'all, man, pay attention to what's going on with Terence Crawford. I got another video coming. You know, my boy put me on to something. I've been saying this, that I think Crawford knows his next 2 to 3 fights. We know Spence is the first one, the rematch. But the second and third, I keep saying Crawford has a bounce in the step. I think he knows. And I'm getting the word that Crawford does know. But before I share that with you, we're going to wait till we get that firmed up. But, you know, there's some talks. Crawford about to get a fight. That's a huge fight. Huge fight. I hate to give you all that teaser, but I'm just being real with you. Let's wait and see, because I should have something sooner than later. And if so, I'm going to share it with you. Don't sleep on what Terence Crawford's next move is going to be after Spence. And I don't think that he's getting ahead of himself, lining up the fight after Spence, because I honestly don't think that Spence is just going to be able to get in there and really do anything with Crawford. Now, I may have a change of opinion if Spence decides to pick up the help of a Usman Sajjad, of a Angel Heredia, of a Alex Ariza. If he goes and he gets those guys to come on his team and help him, then only then will I say, the fight becomes interesting. But right now, I just can't see Spence beating Crawford, period. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, all 7 continents. Y'all in the breeze.